You mostly see videos of people here on YouTube talking about how they lost weight. In fact, I actually have one documenting how I lost 30 pounds in 3 months. But today I want to talk about how I gained 80 pounds and actually a little even more than that in a short period of time. It's not about blame, it's not about making excuses. I feel it's important to share this story just to give context because weight loss is not just about you being lazy or you lacking discipline. It's a combination of things, and that's exactly what happened in my case. This is a picture of me at around 147 pounds, and this is me a few years later and 80 pounds heavier. It was a shock because growing up, I never had issues with weight loss, but in a short period of time, I found myself here. Quick disclaimer before we dive in. This is my experience and my experience only. I'm not making medical claims and I'm not saying this is the story for everyone. I am just sharing how my journey unfolded. I've always had dysmenorrhea growing up. And if you are not familiar with what dysmenorrhea is, then all I can say is lucky you, because that's a blessing right there if you have never had to endure that. But dysmenorrhea is basically when you have really painful periods with lots of cramps, right? So I had that 2 years after I got my first period. So starting from age 14 is when I started experiencing that. And growing up, I always just tolerated the pain, right? I was just like taking pain meds and just going about my day. But the pain and the cramps kept getting worse, right? To the point where back in uni, I was missing lectures for like the first 2 days. And it carried through to when I actually started working. For the first 2 to 3 days, I was not able to go to work because I was in so much pain. So even with the pain medications, it was still something that was bothering me, right? So I went to get a transvaginal scan and then I found out I had fibroids. So that kind of made sense, but it was still getting worse to the point where one day I just couldn't take it anymore and I went to the urgent care. I was like, I don't know what's going on. I think there's something happening in my body. I am in so much pain. I feel like I'm dying. And they were like, yeah, you have cramps. It's the fibroids. There's nothing that we can really do, but there's this shot that you can take and you're not going to get your period for 3 months. And that is all that I heard. Everything else the nurse practitioner was explaining was like a blur to me. Once I heard no period, I was sold. I didn't do any research. I didn't even think twice about it. I just told her, give me that shot right now, right here. And then I got the shot. The shot that I got was the Depo shot. I'm sure most of you already know what the Depo shot is, but for those of you that do not know, the Depo shot, also called Depo-Provera, is a hormonal birth control injection you get every 3 months. And it works by using a synthetic form of progesterone to stop ovulation and prevent you from getting your period so you don't get pregnant when you get that shot. So it basically works by, like I said, suppressing ovulation. So significantly, it thins out the uterine lining, right? So with this much thinning, there's less tissue. So that's why some people get really, really light periods or you don't get your period at all. And if you don't get your period, of course, you're not going to get any cramping, right? So that was what sold it for me. I just was happy to not be getting my period. And not everyone gains weight when they take the Depo shot, right? But there are some few people that gain weight. And some doctors have done some research and they believe that could happen because Depo can increase appetite in some people. It can make them crave a lot of food and it can make them really hungry. They also believe that it can affect the body it can affect how the body handles insulin, right? And blood sugar. And this can make it easier for the body to hold on to fat, especially if you're already someone who is insulin sensitive. So, and if you're someone who gets stressed out really easily, this drug or this shot can also affect you. And they also believe it could cause fluid retention, and that could lead to changes in your metabolism. And this can all add up and slow metabolism in some people, which can lead to rapid weight gain. And I believe that was what happened in my instance. I want to clarify, not everyone gets affected this way when they take the depot shot. But for the unlucky ones like me, the weight gain was pretty rapid and pretty dramatic. So it almost felt like I woke up one day and I looked in the mirror and I did not even recognize who I was staring at. That was how fast everything happened for me. I didn't do anything different. I wasn't eating more, at least that's what I thought. I wasn't less active or anything like that. I wasn't being lazy. I wasn't overeating. But I just remember looking in the mirror one time and feeling that, okay, I look a little different. And then that's when I did my research and I found out some people do gain weight when they take the double shot. So for me, I gained 30 pounds in like 3 months and I did not even notice it. It was that fast. I think I need to hammer on the point that the fact that something works for someone or something works for someone in a certain way does not mean it's going to work for you in that same way. For my mistake, I did not do enough research. I didn't think enough before getting this shot. And I feel like for whatever you're trying to do, make sure you do your own research extensively. And as much as possible, you can try and talk to different healthcare professionals just so you have enough perspective on what you're trying to get. See the good side and see the potential side effects that you can get before diving into something like this. At that time, I didn't know how being under a lot of stress and hormones and insulin can play a part in weight gain. But now that I've started reading a lot around this and doing a lot of research, I think it's making a lot more sense to me. So back to my story. So after I got the depot shot and gained 30 pounds, I think by the end of the year, I gained 20 more pounds. So I did get just that one shot. I never got the shot again. And I was so naive to think like, okay, I just stopped the shot. I'm not getting it anymore. So once, the drug leaves my body, leaves my system, the weight is going to follow. How naive of me to think that, because once you gain the fat, you need to burn it off. It's not going to disappear. But in my mind, I thought, the drug is going to exit my body and then the weight is going to go along with it. But that did not happen. And by the end of the year, I had gained a total of 50 pounds from where I started off at. And I got pregnant quickly after that. So now I've gone through 2 pregnancies, and with each pregnancy, I gained 60 pounds because I was already starting off at a really heavy weight compared to what my body was used to. So both of my pregnancies, I gained a lot of weight, right? But the first time with my daughter, I actually did keto after I had her, and I did lose weight. I think I lost like 50 pounds. And then I got pregnant with my son, and then I gained 60 pounds again during that pregnancy. And it's been almost 5 years, and I have been struggling to lose that weight. But I recently had success, like I mentioned earlier, where I lost 30 pounds in 3 months after starting in November doing intermittent fasting and keto. So I'm going to link that video here, somewhere here, so you can watch that if you're interested. But if you're enjoying this video so far, I'd really appreciate it if you give me a like, and if you want to follow along on my journey as well, if you subscribe, I'll be happy to have you follow along with me. Pregnancy changes your body in so many different ways, not just physically, right? But hormonally and emotionally and mentally. There's a lot that goes on. So for me, going through those 2 pregnancies, some people are able to bounce back really quickly when they give birth, right? Able to lose the weight and go back to their usual bodies. But that was not the case for me. Even to this point where I am 190 something pounds, my body looks completely different from how I looked before without having kids when I was 190 pounds. I'm going to insert some pictures here just so you can see side by side. So I just wanted to chip in that your body is not going to be the same, right? The whole point is you're trying to get healthy. At least in my case, I'm trying to get healthy, and it took me a while to understand that I might get healthy again, but my body is going to look completely different. So after having kids, life just happened like it's happening right now, right? Raising two kids, working full time, trying to be present for my family and also be present for myself, that whole combination is a lot. And I was overwhelmed, and I believe I'm still trying to get better at it, but that combination of stress and putting pressure on myself and truthfully not really following good eating habits and patterns, I feel like contributed to me holding on to my weight all this while. So I think just life in general happened. For most people, for most moms, right, at this stage in life, there's a lot going on. Like I mentioned, you're trying to take care of everyone and yourself. You're probably not sleeping enough, and it's hard. It's hard to get all of this done. So I just want to pause and let you know that if this resonates with you, you are not doing anything wrong. It is not your fault. So please take some time and give yourself grace. There's a lot of shame that we feel externally and internally when we gain weight, especially if it's a lot of weight in a short period of time. People might be blaming you, and people just think you're just overeating or you're not taking good care of yourself. But we all know that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. So if you find yourself in this position, please just know that you're not alone. But if you truly want to do something about it, if you feel like you want to get back to how you were before, or like getting healthy again, I feel there is something you can do, and that is what I did by just taking baby steps and starting where you are. You see people here online or even on TV with some celebrities really losing the weight quickly, or like bouncing back and getting super snatched in a relatively short period of time after giving birth. But please stop comparing yourself to them. Your situation might be completely different from theirs, right? Some have access to personal trainers. Some have resources or people around them that can support them enough to the point where they have enough time to be able to go to the gym or like get some exercise outdoors, or like even just the mental stress for them is quite low, right? So please don't compare yourself to them. Just compare yourself to you. If you feel like you want to get healthy again, you can do it. But make sure you're following your own path, because our paths are all going to be different. Make sure you are doing something that is sustainable for you, something that you're going to enjoy, and something that is going to give you peace at the end of the day. Because we're truly not trying to increase stress. We're trying to be healthy again. Looking back, I feel for me, it wasn't just about consuming calories, right? I feel it was a combination of hormonal shifts in my body, lack of sleep, chronic stress, and basically eating patterns that were always keeping my insulin elevated and causing my body to hold on to fat. I feel these combination of things led to me holding on to this weight for almost 10 years. I'm sharing my journey here because I feel weight gain should not be just about shame. Weight gain also has a lot of context, and we really need to understand how we gain the weight in the first place, what we can do to get ourselves back to a healthy state, and through the process, learning what we need to do so we don't end up gaining the weight again. I'm not saying the Depo-Provera shot is a bad thing. I'm just sharing my experience with it and understanding that it did contribute to my weight gain, but it is not the only thing that led to it. So like I mentioned earlier, I am currently on a weight loss journey. I'm trying to get back to a healthy weight again. So I'd like for you to join me and subscribe to my channel and follow me along on this journey. I'll be sharing my progress, the challenges that I'm going through, the mistakes that I'm learning along the way, and just showing what real life looks like when you're trying to lose weight. So if you find yourself in this situation and you're looking to get back to your desired weight, or you're looking to get healthy again, I encourage you to just start. Start wherever you are. Start with whatever resources you have at your disposal. Just start. And no matter what, just keep going. Just keep getting better one day at a time. Keep putting one foot forward and you will get to your destination. You will get to that desired weight, or that desired weight loss goal that you truly want. I have some videos detailing my journey and my weight loss so far. I also have some meals that I share here on my channel, so you can check that out as well. But we can do this. Whatever you're doing, make sure you're enjoying the process as well, right? Keep that hope alive, keep smiling, keep being yourself throughout your journey. You can do this. Do you have a weight gain story? What is the most amount of weight that you have ever gained, and what did you do to lose all that weight? Let us know in the comments below. If you feel this video was helpful, or if you have anyone in your corner that you feel will benefit from this video, please share this with them. Hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.